Hey parents, Coach V here. Wanted to do a quick video for you guys, talk a little bit about the All-Star season. Uh, Hopefully try to avoid doing the dreaded coaches meeting. I hate doing coaches meetings. I think it's just a waste of time after practice. Not everybody's engaged and listening, and there's just so much information to throw out. So I think it's a better idea to just sit down, put it on video, and give you guys as much information as I possibly can, as quickly as I possibly can, because unfortunately time is not on our side. We are finishing the regular season today, and then tomorrow it's boom right into All Stars. So unfortunately, time's not on our side, so we've just got to be go, go, go. Um, First of all, let me start out and say congratulations to you and your child, your families. Getting these selections done on Wednesday. 8 coaches got together and basically decided that your child is one of the 12 best players in the league. And as I see the roster, they are the 12 best players in this league. No debate, no controversy. They're the 12 best. So congratulations. It's a big accomplishment. Obviously, 8 coaches thought very highly of your children, not just myself. And they all came together with years of experience coaching, combined experience coaching, and decided that your child is the best player to represent Stanley and represent our league to try to win these tournaments. And so with that said, the pace of this entire thing is going to be go, go, go. Okay, like this is going to be fast, right? Practices are going to move fast. The information that I'm going to throw out to you guys is going to be quick. So we've got to kind of mass organize, an all-star group very quickly. So we're putting in a lot of effort to get that done. And without that lag between the regular season, there's literally no break. It's just today's the last day, tomorrow starts All Stars, and here we go. So I'm gonna just run through a bunch of topics. Hopefully, just be able to give you guys a lot of information, save us from having to exchange text messages back and forth, asking all kinds of questions. I know everybody's excited. I know everybody has thoughts and concerns and questions. So hopefully, I can answer most of them in this video as far as it relates to baseball. As far as it relates to sort of team organization, Tug is going to handle a lot of the logistical stuff in regards to tournaments and overnight stays and just Dixie League organizational stuff in general. Tug is going to handle that, and we need him to do that because it's a big task as well. So I'm going to throw a lot of stuff at you guys really quickly. Just bear with me. I'm going to go over these topics just one by one. I've got kind of some stuff written down, just things that I just want to discuss, and then hopefully that'll answer most of your questions. If you guys still have some other things, just message me separately, or just see me after practice or before. Either way, okay. So let's get started here. Okay, so let's talk about team reach. So all the team communication and parent communication, everything will happen on team reach. So make sure that you get onto the App Store, just Google, iPhone, whatever you got, and just download the Team Reach app. Put in the code 904000. Pass that code over to your family members, to whoever needs to be involved. To take kids back and forth from practice, or whoever just wants to be involved and see the game schedule and just kind of see what's going on with the team. I really don't care who gets on Team Reach. I know that there's blended families and there's grandpas and grandparents and all that. So just get everybody on there, that you want to be on Team Reach, so that they can kind of stay up to date on everything that's going on. And one quick favor: when you guys get into Team Reach and you add up like your profile, just in your profile, just it'll ask you for like a role, and just say so and so's mom, so and so's dad. I know most of you, but some of the other parents, just not everybody knows everybody. So just for identification purposes, just put I'm so and so's mom or so and so's dad, so that everybody can get to know each other. We're obviously going to be spending a lot of time together for the next probably 30 foreseeable 30 days. So just it's really good to get the team dynamics going, and just parent and family dynamics going, and just everybody getting to know each other, guys. On Wednesday and Thursday, I'll put a poll out for the weekend practices. So Saturday and Sunday, I'll just, I'll put a poll. What time do you guys want to practice? And I'll give you some options, and we'll just do it based off majority. I know not everybody's going to get the time that they want. I'm just trying to accommodate as many as I possibly can to, sort of fit their schedules. I know it's a busy summer, got stuff going on, we have other kids. I know how life is. So I'm just going to give you guys the options for Saturday and for Sunday practices to try to, accommodate the most number of parents that we possibly can. Like this Saturday, everybody sort of unanimously voted for the 12 to 2. That's great. That's ideally, that's how it should work out. But Sunday's a little bit more controversial. So we're just going to try to do our best. Some weekends you'll get the times that that fit your schedule, and other weekends you just might not, and we have to make some sacrifices. If you guys need me to pick up a kid, or, we can arrange something, to get them to practice. We're a team or group. We'll soon become a family. So let's just, figure out what we need to do, as far as practice times. Monday through Friday will be a little bit different, just because, the field availability, and there's 3 teams. So really 6 to 8 is really just, sort of the only options that we have. The older group will sort of practice later. They'll maybe do the 8 to 10, or they'll do, a different time. Monday through Friday are already posted, on Team Reach. This week coming up is the only sort of odd week. There's some games still going on at Harper, going into next week. So we're going to have to practice over at Springfield, because the big field won't be available. So we'll do those for, I think it's 2 or 3 practices that we have to do at Springfield. And then after that, everything will be at Harper. Like I said, Team Reach, everything will happen there. Just turn your notifications on, so that, you just see when something's popped up, that you either need to respond to or just need to pay attention to. And that'll really be the only venue that I'll communicate, under. And just as far as comments and stuff, just, if you guys have it, have anything, just, keep it cool, keep it respectful. Just, we're just here for the kids, guys. If I put a poll out, try to answer it as quick as you can, Wednesday, Thursday, whatever works for you guys. And then, we'll get that out of the way, so that we can figure out what time we're going to practice on the weekends. I'll practice whenever you guys want. If it's morning time, we'll do it morning time. If it's afternoon time, if it's evening, whatever it is, I'll leave it up to you guys. I typically won't vote in the, in the time scheduling, unless I just need to break a tie, which usually just does not happen. So in any case, jump on Team Reach. Let's get that out of the way. Let's just get everybody acclimated on that really quickly. Hopefully this will just be the last time I have to talk about that. And, and then we're just on to the next topic. Okay. So guys, let me talk to you a little bit about, just coaching philosophy. If you guys have seen me around the league, or have seen me coaching with my team, this regular season, uh, and have not, been coached by me before, haven't been part of one of my families. I'm just a coach that teaches, baseball with a lot of energy. I carry a lot of energy around. I try to harness the kids' energy. There's 6 and 7 and 8 year olds, and they really do have a lot of energy. And so I try to sort of, harness and filter that energy through them, and just in my coaching style, just in general, at this age level. So constantly you'll see that I probably never have a voice, during the season. I just don't have a voice. I'm just so much talking and so much stuff going on, just between practices and games. And so just a couple of philosophical things. Guys, we've been playing baseball in this country for, over 200 years. This game is a tradition in our country. And just my approach on it is that, whether you have played or have been a part of baseball when you were growing up, and, or your kids are just getting into this for the first time, this is a tradition that we've been having in our country for a long time. And it's, in order for us to continue that tradition, it's had to be passed down, sort of in a certain order, and in a certain way. And baseball has to be sort of taught in a certain way in order to keep the tradition going. So I'm sort of one of those coaches that, sort of respects the tradition of the game, and, and teaches it in such a way to reach, a very high level of proficiency, and we sort of demand that. And the expectation to get to that level of proficiency is pretty high. I played baseball and was coached by some very, very, very good coaches who passed the game down to our group sort of the right way. And so we, as coaches, sort of have to continue that tradition. And so to me, in my view, there's sort of a certain level that we really can't cross below. And so we always want to be teaching, the game at from a level up. And so there's really not a lot of bargaining and negotiation on sort of how we want to continue the tradition, because if we don't do that, then we'll sort of water it down, and eventually as the generations sort of come and the next group sort of take it over, they'll water the game down, and it just shouldn't be played that way. So just keep in mind that I'm a coach that pays very close attention to the history of the game and the just sort of the progression of how this tradition has developed. And whether you want to call it a purist or want to call it whatever name is associated with that, I just believe teaching baseball at a very proficient level, and so I coach in that manner. With that said, I coach with a lot of energy. I coach with a lot of motivation, just a lot of, pushing. And for my teams, I set the bar high. And I'm a coach that is a lot, is very much about development. I'm about learning. I'm about improving. And so, just finishing up the regular season now. Sort of my goals as a coach are to develop the children to their max potential as much as we possibly can, and I will spend and go out of my way, to spend as much time as possible to get children acclimated to that level, sort of expectation, regardless of what their initial skills were from the start. Okay, so I'm a coach that's very much about development. I'm very much about execution and very much about seeing baseball played and taught in the right way. And there is a right way to teach baseball, and to coach it, and so I follow sort of that pattern. As far as all stars are concerned, the game is a lot different. The structure of the game is different, and the pace is faster, and the competition level is a little bit higher. So practices will be sort of structured differently. Most of these kids are already coming in with a fairly good, fairly high level of skill, and so we're really not going to be doing a lot of. We really don't have time to do a lot of skill building, and just technique stuff. Kids are coming in with what they're coming in with, and our job is to sort of perfect that and to get it to reach a little bit higher level, and really focus a lot on execution, and and making plays, and really just uh, um, getting to a pretty high level of consistent proficiency, as opposed to the sort of inconsistent stuff that you'll see during the regular season, just because the skill levels are so different, from player to player. So this group is a good group, probably our strongest group in Stanley of all the All-Star teams. I'm excited to coach them. And I'm excited to sort of push them and see what their what their maximum potential is. I think they have a lot more. I think there's a lot more on the table. I think on our players hitting, I think there's 10, 20, 25% more in those swings. And I think that there's more proficiency to be had. And I think as they get acclimated with a group that doesn't need a lot of sort of hand holding at the very beginning, not a lot of pauses during practice, et cetera, et cetera. I think that they'll sort of step up to the level, and everybody will sort of get acclimated to it pretty quick. So I'm a coach that teaches on rhythm, on flow, and just there's a pace that practice needs to happen at, and there's sort of a pace and an intensity that the games sort of need to happen at. And so if you've seen my teams play, we try to play with a lot of flow and a lot of rhythm and a lot of pace. And Coach pitches just an environment where that's where sort of success will sort of happen. In this game. The teams that sort of get into a rhythm and get into a really good flow, and are working at a really good pace, are usually the teams that are going to win. So with that said, uh, you'll see that in practice, I really don't like to see kids sitting around. I don't like to have practices that are slow, or just kids waiting and standing in line. We have the attention spans and the focus are relatively short, so I focus a lot on energy, and that's a lot where my voice goes, is to keeping energy and keeping readiness and keeping focus. I think what you'll find if you've done this a long time and been around a lot of kids like I have, is that it's not necessarily so much their ability. A lot of kids have very, very good ability. A lot of it is just readiness and focus, and just the mental side of things. And so I focus on that quite a bit. And that's just my style. And I just have been around enough to sort of know that that rhythm and pace and flow and readiness and focus sometimes supersede ability, but those things all in combination together bring out the best ability. So you'll just see me focusing a lot on that. And really, this is just about development and pushing kids to reach their highest potential. And really, guys, that's really where my goals are, and that's really where my heart is. And so parents who have had me before, separate from the game and separate from sort of what you can sort of see from a distance. My job is to sort of develop, a really good relationship with the kids and kind of figure out the puzzle that is each child, right? So each child has a puzzle, and each child is motivated and has to be coached sort of differently. And so their max potential is realized under a different path, and every kid has a different path. And so our job as coaches is to sort of find their path, and sort of find what makes them tick, and what motivates them. And so that's where I come in. So really during the regular season, I spend a lot of time developing my younger players and getting them acclimated to a faster pace if they're coming from T-ball. Now we're coming from regular season now into an even faster pace. Coach pitch into an even more competitive environment. So getting them acclimated to that is going to be really key. But guys, separate from that, outside of sort of the rigidness of the tradition, and sort of the high expectations, I'm just a coach that just sets the bar high, and just tries to do everything that I can to develop the kids to get to that bar. Whether we get there in different ways or different paths, or at different speeds is fine. But we really want to try to get the team as much up to a high level of proficiency as quickly as possible. And as you guys can see, we don't have a lot of time, so we've got to sort of get this going relatively quickly. Not a lot of time wasted in practice. We'll need to have some really, really efficient practices and just be as efficient as we can with our time, in order to sort of get this team into peak mode. So with that said, guys, I'm very passionate about what I do. I'm very passionate about baseball. I'm very passionate about the tradition of this game, and what it means in just in our country, and what it means for just in general, what it can do as a tool to build these young kids is pretty incredible. So I'm passionate about teaching. I'm passionate about the instruction. Please don't confuse my intensity on, instruction, and sort of my demand for high execution, with negativity, or with, sort of being down on the kids, or or criticizing them. That's not the approach that I take. It's we're trying to push to get them to get to a high level, and we'll motivate them and push them and encourage them as much as we possibly can. And each player is different, and each player will have its own sort of, there's a relationship with each player, and that's our job to figure out. So we'll certainly do that. That's just sort of my coaching philosophy, just so you guys kind of, maybe get a little bit of an idea, um, as to, how I approach things. And like I said, the pace, and the rhythm and the flow will go quickly, and so there's lots of, just that'll be the pace of practice. Practices will be quick. Practices will be lots of instructing, lots of motivating, lots of pushing, lots of, just lots of demanding, good high level execution, and we'll just keep working until we get there. So that's for me as far as coaching philosophy. And then I'll sort of mix in, practice into this as well, and how that sort of will translate into practice. So, parents who've had me before, know, just, practice I believe in practice a lot. And during the regular season, we practice all the time, and so all stars will be the same way. And typically, practices at this level, relative to, the regular season, practices at this level will be very quick. There probably won't be as much instruction on taking time to sort of instruct each player. It's sort of a go. We're got to be at a point where sort of we've got it or we don't. And so we've got to either refine what we do have, but at the same time we can't, spend a lot of time, fixing things that we don't necessarily have. So we just got to kind of roll with it. And so practices will be, very quick. The first thing that we'll do when we get to practice, is, promptly, right on time. We'll line up for just a quick playing of the national anthem. The reason why I do that with the All-Star group, is just to sort of get them acclimated, take a quick second, to recognize, that we're playing, and representing our country, and B is to just take a quick moment before we start to play, before we start to get into this really fast-paced stuff. Is just to take a moment to just sort of understand that, and pledge honor to our flag, is that to just understand that we get to play this game, and we get to do all the fun things that we get to do here, because of the fact that, sacrifices were made for us to have this opportunity to do that. And so I believe that, as a coach, and everybody has their own different style, but I just believe as a coach that, our advanced group should be introduced to that, and be, sort of acclimated to that. And I think that that's very, very important. So we'll start with that right out the gate, and then, we'll just do a quick meeting, just with coaches, for just a couple of minutes, and, we'll just sort of kind of go over, practice expectations, what we're going to do, sort of what we're going to run through, and, just kind of get them ready for how quickly we need to move in between drills, in between stations, and in between, what, breaks, and et cetera, and how quick we've got to sort of go, and just to sort of set the kids on an expectation that we've just got to kind of move quickly, not a lot of horsing around, not a lot of, just a lot of focus. So we'll work on that, and, get them sort of acclimated into that, give the coaches, just an opportunity to just say a few things if they, need to point some stuff out. So we'll give the assistant coaches some chances to just, say a quick word. I'll say a couple things, and then boom, we're right into it. I'll have sort of a practice agenda. And sometimes I will post that on Team Reach. If there's some stuff that I just kind of maybe want you guys to sort of get them in the mentality of like, okay, we've got to be in this team, at this group, and this is what we're going to do right out of the gate. So, because like I said, we only have 2 hours, so, I don't want to do a lot of time having to, explain where we're going, what we're doing, while we're practicing. So I'd like to get that out of the way one time, and then, if there's a little bit more stuff, that we really kind of can't get into that short meeting, then I'll give that to you guys on Team Reach, and just get the kids ready, and just let them know that we'll need to just hop right into this, and I may have their stations assigned right away, and they can just jump right into that, and they know where they've got to go at the very beginning. So again, that'll go pretty fast. That'll be that'll sort of be a part of every practice. And then second part is I can't replicate the crowd, guys. Obviously these games are going to be a lot of people there. I can't replicate that in practice, so we'll just do, sort of keep it fun, keep some fun stuff. If you guys know me outside of baseball, guy, I'm like the biggest clown. I like to joke around with people. I'm very easygoing, just really loose. I'm not a serious person. Sort of outside of baseball. Obviously, we demand it highly, but we have fun with it too. And and our kids sort of over time, we'll sort of get to once we get into that rhythm and that flow, we'll have a lot of fun with it, guys. It'll be fun. I'll challenge them. Second thing, sort of about practices, is we will. Practices will be structured probably a little differently than what they're used to. Everything is a challenge, guys. Everything is a challenge. So if we're doing drills, if we're doing sort of team activities, they'll usually be sort of teamed into two. We'll have a couple of groups, or we'll have if we're doing hitting, we might have three groups. Four groups of three. 9 players out in the field, 3 batting, and we may, we'll go 15 minutes each group, and whoever gets the most runs wins. So for me to keep them engaged, I think that I found that having the kids knowing the metrics that they're looking for, and keeping in mind that we are playing a game, and the game is sort of, we're keeping score all the time. So practices will be the same way. Practices will just be challenges. Sometimes we'll have, infield group challenges. Sometimes we'll have outfield group challenges. Sometimes we'll have, but everything will be a challenge that they can tangibly see. Okay, this is 5-4 here. We're, 5-3, our group is up, or, et cetera, et cetera. And so we're sort of always be working, sort of to a goal. So everything will be sort of a competition. Its practice will pretty much be a series of competitions, a series of challenges. And so sometimes they'll be in small groups, sometimes they'll be in groups of 6. We'll split them 50-50, and we'll just kind of work with it that way. But it's a lot of fun. So, sometimes we'll do a home run derby. Everybody just gets one ball at the very end. You get one ball, you hit it as far as you can. We'll have 2 groups of 2, 2 groups of 6. And then, if you get it past a certain point, you get a point. If you get it past another point, you get 2 points. And then we just add the points up at the end, and just keep it fun for the kids. So, you'll see that practice is sort of a high demand, but at the same time, it's a lot of times kids just don't even really realize they're just having so much fun, and sort of trying to meet their goals, that they actually really kind of are working at a high level. And so that's the goal, is to have high expectations and have sort of teach a high level of proficiency, but at the same time, while we're working on that, we're sort of not really focused on on that in specific. It's more that it's sort of happening naturally. So and we're sort of naturally competing at everything. So it'll be fun, guys. Practices will sort of move quick, and that's just kind of the structure of it. Sometimes I will give the kids, some things to go home with. A small packet, or a small, couple of pages, just, with some questions, some things, some baseball scenarios, things that, we want them to sort of get in their mind constantly. What happens if this play happens? What happens if this here? Where do I move? Where does this player go if this happens? So getting them sort of acclimated into, sort of the mental side of the game, quickly. I often don't have time within the practice period to be able to go through all of those scenarios. And so sometimes I'll send some stuff home. Obviously, guys, use the honor code. We don't want to help, just let them think about it themselves. And if they get it right, they get it right. If they get it wrong, that's fine too. And we can spend a little bit more time just, finding the corrections and just kind of summarizing it really fast. And then, then we'll keep it rolling. So, lots of baseball. Baseball's a complex sport, guys. It's a complex sport to teach. Hitting is complex, throwing is complex. It's a complex sport. There's lots of stuff happening. We're asking the kids to make split decisions and quick decisions in a very second moment with a lot of stuff happening at the same time. Crowds going, runners are running, everything is happening. So, keeping them on sort of on pace and on task, and just getting them to a point where they're comfortable and they know what's going on, and they're confident that they can, execute even though all that other stuff is happening. So in practice, we'll do, I don't know, maybe this Saturday we'll do, so each day will be a different day. We'll get some music out there, and I don't know, maybe Saturday we'll do country Saturday, or like Sunday we might do, I don't know, classic rock Sunday, or we'll just do something. And, to sort of just get the match the sort of the rhythm and the pace and just the energy of our practices, and that's sort of the energy that we want to translate into the game. Um, so that you'll see that quite a bit, and hopefully, like I said, not a lot of static sitting around in practice. I'll obviously leave some breaks in there for the kids to get water, et cetera, et cetera. We want to stay hydrated. And so, so everything will be fast, guys. Everything will be fast. I'll be pushing and just boom, 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 guys. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. So it'll be moving quickly. I'll coach quickly. The coaches will, we'll all be sort of working in tandem to create a certain level of pace and energy in the practice. And that's, we want to try to establish that as early as possible and try to sustain that for the 2 hours, that we have. And then after that, we'll just break, guys. I might talk to them for a couple minutes at the end of practice, just, for a minute or two. And then, let's just get them home and sort of not belabor. We're going to be doing this every day. So, let's just sort of get them home and, not hang around too much at the, at the end there. On to the next day, guys, one day to the next. So that's sort of my philosophy on coaching, just a little bit about myself, and just, sort of the structure of practices, and what to sort of expect. From me and from the coaching staff, and sort of what to expect going forward. So we want to play with pace, we want to play with rhythm, and we want to play of a very fast and very intense game. And so that's what we're going to try to transfer to the game as quickly as possible, and get them used to that. So we'll move on to some other topics that should cover a lot of that, and then we got about 5 or 6 more topics, and then we should finish this up. Okay. All right. So a couple of things about playing time and field time, and sort of the philosophy. I just want to get these things out of the way, guys. The best players are going to play. Okay, that's just the bottom line. The best players that myself and the coaches sort of identify as the best player for that position is going to play. Do we have five shortstops that came from the regular season and all played shortstop on their team? Yes. Is there one shortstop position? Yes. Is there one second base position? Yes. Is there one, and so guys, we're going to put the team in the best position to win. And that's really the difference in the rec level to now this. Playing time is really just going to be dependent on skill and proficiency, and sort of the best puzzle that we can sort of put together, and the best combination. And there are many different combinations with this group. That's what makes it difficult for coaches, is that there are many combinations, and really not a lot of variation, in skill level. Everybody's pretty good. So, so it's definitely going to be a challenge for us to, sort of see where we've got to sort of position position everyone. And as far as the field play is concerned, guys, really just don't want to belabor the playing time stuff. Like I said, guys, I think it'll be abundantly clear, and I think it'll be, fairly clear when you watch the team and you watch the game, that we'll probably rarely miss where the right player needs to be. And so obviously I have 2 boys on this team, and guys, my parents from the regular season will tell you that it's not easy being a coach's kid. Expectations are high for them, and they just get no breaks, guys. There's no preferential treatment to my kids at all. If anything, they probably, get the hardest coaching of all of the kids, and so you won't find that on this team. Um, I can just tell you that, you know, bluntly and very honestly. If there's a child that is better at a certain position than even my child, that child will play. Okay, regardless of who they are. Okay, if my kids are best suited for the outfield, then that's where they'll play. And so we'll develop that pretty quickly. You won't see any preferential treatment. This is about, this is really about putting the best team and making the best decision for the league and to represent our league as best as possible. So obviously there's 10 positions on the field. We have 12 players, so we're going to have some bench time, and there'll be some players going in and out, and that's just the way it's going to have to go, guys. There's really not a lot of negotiating on that. As far as the sort of the field positions, like I say, guys, we're really gonna put these kids, the best players that are primed for that position, under a combination of factors are gonna play. And I'm a very realistic coach, and I am a coach that that really does. I don't play favorites, guys. I'm just going to do what's best fundamentally at the end of the day. And I think that if parents just take a moment and just watch, a lot of times it sort of happens naturally on its own, and you guys will see that usually is the best group to be out there in a certain given situation. As far as hitting's concerned, hitting is just the best players will just go from we're we're going to put the best bats in there that are the most consistent, and we're looking for hard hit baseballs. We're looking for a lot of proficiency on the infield. We want to keep our error rates down, and we want to make sure that sort of our level of play in the field, is executing very well. And then at the plate, we're looking for hard hit balls, guys. I'm going to prioritize the kids who hit the ball hard. We want to try to get a high contact rate, and we want to put balls in play, or in spots where really there can't be a play made. And so if there is going to be a play made, we want to make it as difficult as possible for the other team to have to make that play. And we'll push and we'll challenge, and we'll put our kids in the position to sort of make those make those hits and make those plays. And so really, aside from some sort of strategic things, in terms of speed and power, et cetera, and be sort of building a hitting lineup, it'll still come down to, the order will be the order in the way it's supposed to be. And like I said, guys, I've done this for a long while, and I think that you'll see that I'm fair, and and I'm very stuck with doing what's best for the team and getting the max potential from the team, and whatever lineup and order that is, that's what I'm going to go for, irrespective of whether it's I've coached that kid during the regular season, or whether it's my own kids, or just et cetera, et cetera. So we're just going to do the best and put the best out there. And some are super ready, some are coming in it for the first time, and there is some variation here in the skill level, and there is some variation there. And we're just gonna roll with it, guys. And so, but like I said, I think at the end of the day, you'll feel that in 99% of the circumstances, we've probably made the right decision, and it'll present itself and be pretty fairly clear. And so, uh, as far as uh, as far as practices are concerned, um, sometimes the sort of development of practice will sort of reveal some things in terms of, sort of player development. And some kids, this is their moment, guys. Like some kids they just love playing in the big moment. And so like I said, there's a lot of combination of factors that are going to factor into, who plays in those positions. And sometimes there's the odd chance that sometimes those spots can be earned, sort of in through the progression of practices. And so I'll give kids a lot of opportunities to showcase their talents and, showcase their arms and their gloves and, and so they really won't have a lot of time for me to sort of, teach them quite a lot of stuff, and we can make fine-tune corrections, but really, we just can't stop practice to just, focus on a few things here or there and just fix arms or fix, bats or, kind of sort of modify things the way that we can probably do it a little bit more often in the regular season. We just don't have time for that here. So, like I said, they've either got it or they don't. And so we'll try to build them as much as we possibly can with given the time constraints. But obviously realistically with the idea that we've really got to be able to put the ball on the bat, and we've got to really play hard-nosed defense and play really tough. The game is faster, it's faster paced, the balls will be going out to the outfield a lot more, so the structure of the game will change and it'll be a lot more challenging. And so we've got to coach it that way, unfortunately. So we will, we'll talk with the coaches and, and myself, and, we've got some good baseball minds, guys, and we've got some guys who've done this for a while, and we've got some people in here that know what they're talking about. So we'll make the best decisions for the team. Nothing personal, guys. It's not, it's nothing against the children at all. Okay, at all. It's just not, guys. We're just literally looking to put the best team on the field, and that's what we're going to do. So I just want to make sure that parents are, sort of good with that perspective. I may know you guys, but I'm not going to play any favorites with anybody, not even my own kids. And so, we're just gonna put it out there as best as we possibly can, and try to give our league and our team, the best possible chance to win these games. And the moment will definitely present itself for sure. So that should cover sort of practice time, playing time, and sort of positions and stuff. And some guys are going to have to get used to playing positions that they didn't play all season, and that's just something that they're going to have to adapt to. They're just going to have to use their skills in a different way, to help the team and put the team in the best position to win. And that's what we're here to identify and to put into place. And everybody will have to play a role to make this team win and make this team do well. And we've all got to be good teammates and good, good players in establishing our roles and, and doing the best for the team to win. Okay. So I'll go over just a couple other topics here, and then we should be done. All right, so a couple other things related to practice. Just some sort of side things. Just we're practicing the summer, guys. Just make sure the kids have water. Obviously, that goes without saying. Just make sure that they get to practice with some form of water, something that they can hydrate themselves with. And as far as the Dixie League rules related to bats, obviously, if you guys have been around this a little bit, you know that the U Triple SA bats are obviously not allowed in Dixie, for the tournaments or for pretty much for gameplay period. So just make sure when they're in practice, just have their USA bats. I know some of you guys are playing travel ball. I know some of you guys have your Cat 5s and your Cat 9s and your Cat 8s and all of that. So just let's just practice with what we're going to play with, and just get used to hitting the ball with the USA bats and try to do our best and reach the max potential with those bats as we possibly can. With that said, just as far as rules are concerned, with Dixie, they just are what they are, and our job is just to follow them, guys. Like, these are decided by committees and all this other stuff, and it just has really nothing to do with, our execution and our development as a baseball team. I don't want to spend a lot of time on that stuff. I just, whatever the rules are, we're gonna play by the book and just, if we're gonna do it, we're gonna do it fair. Let's just follow the rules. No neutral USA bats. Bring your USA stuff. No metal cleats. Just the obvious things. And Tug will probably go over some of this stuff as well. As far as just Dixie League organizational stuff. What's allowed, what's not allowed, et cetera, et cetera. And as the rules just come up or things, we're faced with certain things, let's just err on the side of following the rules. We don't want to dampen our hard work and our other, our hard work and our goals, for something really silly. So just leave that out there as far as practice is concerned. Other thing with practice is just make sure that they have baseball pants on. Unless I tell you guys like, hey, just bring them in shorts or whatever, and some turf shoes or this or that. I very highly doubt we'll probably be sliding a lot, and so just make sure that the kids are just coming with their cleats and just with their pants on. I really I have no preferences to what they wear, this or that, and that doesn't matter. The second thing is, as far as practice, is to water, pants, just cleats, and then we've got to get the kids sort of acclimated with wearing a cup. I think these balls are going to come a lot faster. So spend some time this weekend if you guys don't already have that, or haven't used that in travel or whatever other stuff you guys are playing. Get them just get them a cup and just make sure that we're protecting them, obviously from the hops and from just the plays that they'll be encountered with during the game. So I think let's just err on the side of safety. And just make sure that all the kids are wearing cups, regardless of whether it's required or not. I just think it's a good idea. Already sort of advancing to the eights and then up to the nines, it's just a good idea to wear a cup. So aside from that, just have their bags and their stuff ready to go, and and we'll get right to it. All right, so a couple things just about team dynamics, just family dynamics, all of that, that comes with, being a part of a team. Just a couple things, guys. In the games, I'm not a big proponent of, getting on the umpire, guys. Like, I'm not going to do that in the games. Okay, the umpires don't decide the games. Will there be close plays? Yes, there will. Will there be, certain situations where, a call was just missed or this or that? But I just want to get this out of the way early. Okay, like right from the gate. Um, Coaches are not going to yell at umpires. I'm not going to yell at the umpires. Okay. It's You just won't see it happen. Okay. So if we've got to do that, parents in the stands, I know some plays are going to be tough. I know sometimes your kid's going to get called out, and maybe they weren't out. But just please, please, please do not talk to the umpires. Don't yell at them. Don't, just from the stands. Just leave the game alone and just let it be a fan and just let the game play itself out. Very rarely do games get decided by a call at the very end. Usually the team has 100 opportunities to have done things differently to win the game, and we've just got to live with our effort. Okay, so I'm not gonna be on top of the umpires and giving them a hard time if they missed a call or this or that. They're human. They're out there volunteering their time too. They get paid very little, if at all, to do this. They're not getting paid handsomely to be out there umpiring. They're doing it because they just are, want to continue the tradition and just, want to make sure that our games have, at least somewhat of a proficient level of umpiring, done in the game. So let's just not give them a hard time. You're not going to see me giving them a hard time. Our coaches are never going to get on the umpires. We're never going to get into a situation where, just there's just drama on the field. Like, I don't want that, guys. Okay, I'll set the example. I will not talk to the umpires, whether I like the call or not, whether I think it's the right thing or not. I'm really not going to talk to them on stuff that's controversial. Okay, now with that said, there is a rule book, and I am very good with knowing and understanding the rules almost to a memorization level. And so, yes, I will pay attention to the rules. And if I do have to pull the umpire aside to discuss a rule or discuss something, then I'll do it respectfully and I'll do it within the bounds of the game. I've coached at the high school level. I've coached at a bunch of different, so I know how to do this, guys. And like I said, I will enforce the rules as they're written, and how we're supposed to play. If there's something off, then I'll address that with the umpire, and we'll see what happens. Does it always turn out our way? No. Does it always result in something being changed? No. But I will harp on the rules and let me take care of that. It's my job to know the rules. It's my job to know every little bylaw in there. And so I'll discuss that with the umpires. Let's just not make a big deal if something doesn't go our way. And just leave the umps alone, guys. That's just my only message. Just literally leave the umps alone. Be fans. Cheer your kids on, cheer our team on. And just enjoy it. Enjoy the moment. You're not gonna get this moment back. I've coached kids at the high school level, and boy, what those parents would give to be back at this level, to get that time back. It just, once it goes, it goes. So, let's just enjoy it. With that said, this is probably this experience for these kids, and your families will probably be something that you guys will not ever forget. Okay. So, I'm still friends with every kid that I played All Stars with. Um, we're talking almost 30 years ago. Okay. And so those are moments and those are just times that you'll remember in your life. And I played in Florida. I grew up in Florida. And for you to get to a state championship in Florida, after a 20 game regular season, you had to play roughly 40, 45 games in order for you to get to the state championship. So we didn't call, all stars like all stars in Florida. Like we called it like 90 days of baseball. Like, cause that's literally what you did for 90 days is like you played baseball every single day. So, so just, and those are things, these are times and moments that you're going to treasure these moments. Okay. So let's just make it the best that we can. And, let's take the time that we've got this group together. It is really, really, really important that our family, dynamics, are good. That our families are bonding with each other and that they're sitting with each other in games and that they're getting to know each other if they haven't not previously known each other before. I can't tell you how important it is to establish family dynamics on a team level, because it really is so important. We're all working really hard to and making sacrifices as parents to get kids to games and to be there, to be a part of all of this. And it's a really fun time and a really fun moment. I really, 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 really encourage you guys. Really encourage you guys. I will emphasize this. Encourage you guys. Okay, to get to know the other parents, guys. Hang out, at games, sit with each other, chat with each other, have moments between each other. This is what we're here for, guys. Like, this on the parent side, we want to have good fluidity with our parents, and we want all the parents and everybody to be on the same page and be excited about our team and be excited about what we're doing and be excited about what their kids are learning. And the quicker that we can sort of establish those family dynamics is essentially is we're going to be around each other a lot, guys. And so you guys will eventually quickly start to feel like, hey, this is our all-star family, and that's what it should be. So let's just, let's keep that in mind. Again, I don't know, everybody's history together or, just in the town, et cetera, et cetera. But regardless of that, guys, let's just have fun with parents. I've had teams where, parents tailgated before games. They just did fun stuff and just, they made it fun and they made it really interesting. And so you guys have an opportunity as yourselves to make this what you want out of it. You guys have an opportunity to make this a fun time, make this, an enjoyable thing if you guys want to, and meet some new friends and meet some new families and get to know some new people. I can tell you just from our regular season, our Mets team is a really, really, really close group. And not because they knew each other prior to. It's just because they've just bonded really well over the team and just over, what we were trying to accomplish. And it helps. It really does. It does that positive energy from parents and from the group in general does help on the field, guys. It plays a small factor. I don't want to say it's a big factor, but it plays a factor. And the more we can, just be a very, very combined, very cohesive group of fans and just people cheering our kids and creating that energy outside of the dugout, will sort of match our energy on the field too. So just keep that in mind, guys. The energy that you guys are having out with, amongst you guys as parents, and families and stuff, and that energy does translate somewhat to, to the field and to the game. And so we want to see that. So hopefully, like I said, just get to know each other. I'll post up on Team Reach, see if everybody wants to do like a team Facebook page. I really encourage parents to take a lot of pictures, establish a lot of memories, guys. Like take videos, like do a lot of stuff to remember these moments. Okay. So, a couple parents that I know, are like into the photography stuff and they take pictures at games all the time, or at practices and just, so if you guys want to do a team Facebook page, we can. I did that with my Mets group and it's a lot of fun. Like we just joke around with each other. We just, we have a good time. We comment on just like the kids and just, funny things and just, share memories and just, really special moments. And, and you'll be surprised at how quickly, you guys will really be, sort of, uh, connected with this experience if you guys allow it to do that. So it's really up to you. You guys can make it as great and as awesome as you want to. So I don't. It kind of sucks when you have teams that are, sort of parents are really separate. Everybody's kind of on their own and that type of thing. I'm a big family person. I'm just like I'm a big get everybody together. I'm just one of those people that I just like to see that unity and that that sort of connectedness and that cohesiveness. So guys, I hug the kids. I'm joking with them. We do handshakes. Like like I'm on their level, guys. Like I'm not some like I'm tough on certain things, as far as just demanding a lot, but at the same time, like, we have a lot of fun, guys. Like we have fun. Like, I'd like to get to know all the parents, and like I said, in our regular season group, we have an amazing group, and that group will, we're committed and they're dedicated. Sorry, I dropped the phone here. They were super dedicated and committed, and they were just sort of involved in the cause of getting this team to to do well, and so they sort of bonded over that, and so I encourage this group to do the same. From the folks that I know, a lot you guys are all great families, all great people. Everybody's really cool. Let's just make the best of it. Let's have fun. Let's just make it make it easy going and make it, just really memorable for everybody. So I really encourage you guys just to, take these moments in. You're not going to get them back, unfortunately. And I know too many parents, of older kids now that, would give their left arm to be back, in these times. So, so just take it in, enjoy it. Really, really sort of, relish the moment, and we'll create a lot of really great moments. There's gonna be some really awesome moments, guys. Those moments are gonna happen, and they're really special. And that's part of the satisfaction of what you get from, being a part of this stuff, is that you guys are going to see some incredible moments. I don't know what they are. That's the surprise, right? So, each game is different, each practice is different. You're going to see some incredible things from kids in practice. You're going to see some incredible things from, from kids in games. We might be in a tough fight in a game, and somebody's got to win it, and it just, you guys are going to have moments, and just, record the moments, share them, be a part of it. Like I said, I'll offer. I'm a big proponent of, just getting everybody on Facebook and sharing stuff and sharing stories and sharing things. I'm a big proponent of that. I'm a big proponent of just community amongst the team. And so, but again, that's up to you guys, and you guys will sort of make that what you will. And we'll sort of craft that depending on how all the parents want to how much they want to invest in that. And but I will just tell you that as a coach, I encourage that. And I just think that it's a net positive for the team in general, for everybody to be cool and getting along, and parents to, saying hi to each other and hugging each other, and just being super cool with everyone. So, let's just keep it drama free, everything, as happy as possible. And we'll have a lot of fun, we'll joke around a lot, we'll just, it's going to be a hot mess sometimes. You're gonna feel the range of everything. So, let's just keep it cool, and let's have a fun time with it. If you guys want to do a Facebook page, I am on Facebook. We can start a page, and I'll invite everybody in. And like I said, our regular season group has had a lot of fun with it. We post a lot of funny things, and just lots of funny stuff with the kids, and just do silly stuff while we're in practices or in between games and stuff. And just, it just helps us to, sort of keep in mind that, we're also out here to have some fun, and we're also out here to enjoy this moment and enjoy this time, and just take a moment and realize, like, man, like, these kids are really doing some incredible things. And they're really, showcasing talents that, not everybody has, guys. So this is a really special thing for them. And I can tell you that when I called my kids that were on my team that made the all-star team, they were just through the moon and over, just excited. And they just were calling everybody, and just having a good time with it. And so let's not take too far off of that. Obviously we want to have we're going to have some tough practices, and baseball is baseball, but at the same time, guys, let's just try to make this as much of a family as we possibly can. And the quicker we can do that, and the better we are at doing that than some of the other teams and some of the other leagues, it can make a difference, guys. It really can. So, so I'll encourage you to do that. And then, as far as, some of you guys have played together on the same teams. We've got a few from the Crawdads. We've got a few from the Mets that already kind of sort of know each other. Let's just kind of cross those families over, and just make it a fun time for everybody. And we'll meet some new friends, and we'll make some really cool lasting memories with each other. And some of them we might talk about 15, 20 years down the line, and it just, it's one of those things. So, so I definitely highly encourage that. And then, and so we'll have fun with it and take it from there. One more topic, and then we'll be finished up. All right. So last thing, that we'll go over, just Sunday at 3:30. Tug's gonna go over uniforms. He's gonna go over, travel information. He's going to go over the overnight stay for the state tournament. He'll go over fundraising, any type of raffle that you guys want to do. He'll go over just Dixie League type stuff. So just, don't throw that stuff for the coaches. We're not going to be handling any of that stuff. So, if you have questions about uniforms, about overnight stay, about travel, about tournament brackets, and, all of that stuff, just wait for Tug on Sunday. I'm pretty sure he'll probably answer most of your questions on that. And then we're just going to stick to baseball and coaching. As far as any things that he needs from us, let's just get whatever we need to get to him as far as if this birth certificate, whatever it is, it's, but some form signed, a waiver, something, whatever. Let's just hit whatever stuff he may ask us to, make sure that we get to you guys. Let's just get it back as quick as we can. Let's get that stuff out of the way. Any type of paperwork, state office, Dixie League stuff, like, we don't want to be dealing with that. So Tug does a good job, and he handles a lot of that stuff so that coaches can just coach, and, the teams can just get to what they're trying to do and trying to accomplish, and we'll just keep it that way. As far as, so you'll get most of those answers, those questions answered Sunday. And then whatever else is left, baseball related, team related, that type of stuff, then obviously you can reach out to me and, throw stuff on Team Reach if you need to, if there's something that I've left out or missed out here. But at least I think for the, just to get us set the tone at this point, just getting this video out of the way and, just getting some of this early information out of the way is, will probably be helpful, and we may need to fill in some other things that we just missed or, haven't gotten together yet. But I think by Sunday, most of all of this should be pretty clear as to, kind of the structure and the organization of everything that's going to happen. And I think it'll be well taken care of. So let's just make Tug's job easy for him. And he's obviously got a lot of stuff going on. He's got lots of organizational stuff to deal with. So let's just not make his job any harder than what it needs to be. Let's get him his stuff when he asks us, and just be respectful and mindful of that. And and we'll wait for him to give us the other sort of tournament type stuff. This Sunday, 3:30 they'll do the uniform fitting. So that'll be important, so he can order hats and order things and make sure that everything gets in on time. In such a tight window, we've only got a couple of weeks here, so they're going to be getting some things rushed in. So in any case, I'll leave the video pretty much here where it's at. Hopefully, this is at least at least set the tone for kind of going forward, at least into the weekend. And then if we have to address any other things, or if there's other stuff that I've left out, then we can deal with that next week. And I'll be sure to, to communicate with you guys as much as possible. I'm active on the Team Reach. Please, please, please bear with us this first week. I know Team Reach can get very annoying. Lots of notifications going off, lots of, just information being traded back and forth, and just stuff happening. So just bear with it for the first week. There's going to be a lot of stuff on Team Reach, probably a lot of communications going back and forth. So, just stick with it. It'll get better. After the first week, things kind of will die down a little bit. I'm usually pretty good about just, getting everything out there and staying on top of everything. And then as far as just like practices and things like that, sometimes I might throw out a small summary of how we did in the day, and, just little things that were, little motivational things to keep us going into the next day, and just, kind of just giving you guys a quick snapshot of what we're seeing, and, where we're headed and what we're doing. So sometimes I may post things like that, and just some comments just about our day, and if we had a really great day that day, or if we, just some things that we need to work on, et cetera, et cetera. Sometimes I'll just post a message on that, just so you guys can kind of get an idea as to where my head's at, in terms of just the team in general, and, and just our our progress as we're going forward. So the district tournament I know will be relatively close by somewhere. I haven't looked at all the details of all that quite yet, so I know it won't be far, so that won't require any overnight travel or anything like that. But the state tournament will. So Tug will handle all that. And aside from that, guys, let's have fun. Let's have a good All-Star season. Let's get out there and work as hard as we can and put ourselves in the best position that we can to be successful. And that's all we can really do. We can just work really hard, put ourselves in a good spot to win some games. And if it goes our way, great. If a game doesn't go our way, that's fine. We're going to work as hard as we can. We want the opportunity, and we want to be in a position to be able to be successful. We'll just live and die with our effort and with what we're starting here now and what we'll be doing going forward. So, we'll sort of live by the sword, die by the sword, and we'll just, we'll put our hard work in and the kids will be prepared. They will be ready. The team will be ready. There won't be any missing parts. The team will have been exposed to everything that they need to be exposed to. They'll learn everything and have the information and have the knowledge of what they need to know. And then it's just our job to just execute. So we'll get them ready. They'll be ready. They're good. They've got to work, but to get better, but and take some time to sort of gel the team at first here. But we'll get it there. We will get it there. Very confident in this group. Very confident, in their abilities, and I'm excited for this group because I think this group can do some really big things. And I sincerely say that, having firsthand watched these kids, some of them for the last couple of years, but specifically this year, and watching their play, it's pretty exciting to get this group together and sort of see what this combination can kind of do on a baseball field. My guess is that they're going to do some really special things. So stay tuned. Let's work hard. Thanks for listening. I'm sorry that these things get a little long, but I'd rather do this than sit for an hour after practice or something and have to go through all this stuff. So watch it at your leisure. Sit around at night tonight if you want to watch it. Do it tomorrow and Sunday, whenever is convenient for you. And that way we can sort of get acquainted with each other here by video for a quick for a quick moment, and then we'll get on to the rest of it. All right. So enjoy your day. I will see you guys tomorrow, 12 to 2, and we still need a couple of votes for the Sunday. I'll put a reminder in there on Team Reach. Just looking for a couple of other people to put their votes in, and we'll figure out what time we'll practice on Sunday. Okay, so see you guys soon. 12 to 2 tomorrow. Bye.